Welcome to the Yelp Trash Heap, where we review the absolute worst one-star hotels. This isn't just about bad service. We're diving straight into the hellholes where the only thing included in the price is a hidden camera pointed at your bed. We're gonna review the specific dumps where the creeps are definitely watching you cry through a hole in the wall. Put your clothes on, we're going in. The Astro Pasadena Hotel. Welcome to Pasadena, home of the Rose Parade and apparently the most unhinged DIY film studio. If you've ever wanted to be the unwilling star of a low-budget horror movie, look no further than the Astro Pasadena Hotel. This place doesn't just have bad vibes, it has hidden cameras. Let's dive into the voyeur core aesthetic of our first guest, HHH, who realized their stay was being broadcast to some creep's basement. They found a hidden camera no larger than the size of your fingertip that was taped to the bottom of the table inside the room that was facing the bed and bathroom area. Imagine trying to have a private moment and realizing a tiny plastic eye is watching you from under the table like a perverted spider. The guest called the cops, but the manager basically hit them with the new phone who dis attitude. HHH noted it was an absolute violation of privacy, while the hotel did literally nothing to compensate them. I guess the privacy package costs extra, and they aren't the only ones in the surveillance floor. John M. mentioned hidden cameras found here during his month-long stay. It's good to know that no matter how long you stay, the management's committed to documenting your every move for their archives. If being live-streamed to a basement dweller isn't enough to ruin your vibe, let's talk about the smell. Jocelyn M. noted strong smells each morning, like raw or rotten meat. Is it a hotel or a butcher shop for roadkill? Zach S. had a similar vibe, claiming his room smelled like the staff dumped Fabuloso, ammonia, and bleach everywhere in the room to get rid of a dead animal or something. Ah yes, the three horsemen of covering up a felony: bleach, ammonia, and pure unadulterated spite. But the smell is just the appetizer for the absolute biohazards waiting for you under the covers. Stacy S. encountered the legendary poop-smeared duvets. When she complained to the manager, Mitash, he brought her new sheets that were also covered in stains. He actually looked at them and agreed they were dirty, then just set them down and walked away. Absolute king behavior. And if you thought fecal matter was the peak of the trauma, one horrified parent shared this nightmare. This is sick. My kid slept in this bed and there was a used condom under the sheets at the end of the bed. Please don't stay here. Nothing says family-friendly like finding a used rubber while tucking your toddlers in. It's like a scavenger hunt where everyone loses their goddamn soul. Meanwhile, NP was greeted by bedbugs and a bed covered in vomit. It's like they're trying to collect every human fluid like Pokemon cards. Rena K even found dried blood or red spots on her pillow that Tanya, the front desk charming personality, tried to blame on her. The blood that is so clearly old and dried really adds that forensic file chic to the room. If you value your dignity, David L. warns that you'll be treated like a fugitive. The manager told him, "The police want to know everyone's staying in the motel. This isn't a check-in, it's a mandatory parole meeting." And if your key stops working, Emily M. had the lady at the desk come barreling out of nowhere at me yelling, before canceling my reservation while her stuff was still inside. They literally held her luggage hostage. To top off the fever dream, we have the Kevin identity. Irvin P. was chased out at 10:59 a.m. because the receptionist insisted his name was Kevin and that he had a record. When he pointed out that he wasn't Kevin, she just shouted, "You're all the same." Nope. The Astro Pasadena. Come for the poop-smeared duvets, stay because you're on a police list and there's a used condom waiting for you under the sheets. 0 out of 10 stars. Would rather fucking sleep in a storm drain. Stony Creek Hotel, Columbia. Next up, we're heading to Columbia, Missouri, where the Stony Creek aesthetic is less rustic lodge and more unconsented film studio. If you've ever wanted to be the main character of a dark web livestream, this is your premiere. Our guest Tyler J discovered the ultimate room amenity, a small camera with a micro SD card in the entertainment center, directly facing the bed. Imagine checking in for a work conference and realizing your sleep apnea is being recorded for some creep's archives. Corporate's response? They agreed it was disturbing. That's corporate speak for great shot, we'll edit that in post. They offered no additional solutions. I guess the voyeurism package is non-refundable. But don't worry, if the cameras don't get your heart racing, the forensic evidence in the bedding will. Chad G realized his room was a crime scene when he found blood spatters, like someone had a nosebleed and wiped it on the sheet. It's giving CSI Missouri, but without the budget or the hygiene. And if you think the hallways are any safer, Keely C reported a hallway littered with debris and trash, including what appeared to be animal vomit or feces. When she pointed this out, the staff member literally picked up a couple of the countless pieces of trash and debris and put them in her pocket. Absolute legendary behavior. Just a girl boss collecting hallway turds like they're Pokemon cards. If you decide to wash the trauma away, be careful. The toiletries at Stony Creek are apparently weaponized. Carol B noted that the hand soap provided ended up doing damage to her hands, visibly damaged. Even the lotion caused her mom's skin to burn and turn red. It's not a hotel, it's a chemical warfare testing facility. For a midnight snack, Chrissy M found a cup of what looked like molded orange juice in the mini fridge that smelled like sewage. Nothing says comfortable reprieve like a refreshing glass of fermented waste. To top it all off, the bedbugs here are apparently on steroids. Julia D ended up with 17 bedbugs from a 1-hour nap, only for maintenance manager Josh to make her prove it to them. Imagine having to lawyer up against a parasite. Don R corroborated the nightmare, claiming he saw the biggest bedbug he's ever seen. At this point, the bedbugs probably have their own Yelp accounts. Between the sewage juice, the blood spatters, and the hidden camera in the entertainment center, Stony Creek isn't a hotel. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. 0 out of 10 stars. Stay here only if you want your medical bills and your bedroom habits to become public record. Studio 6, Phoenix, Deer Valley. Welcome to the Studio 6 in Phoenix, Deer Valley, a place where the 6 in the name stands for the number of felonies happening in the parking lot at any given second. If you've ever wanted to be an unwilling protagonist of a low-budget surveillance thriller, this is your premiere. Our star witness, Matt S., discovered the ultimate room upgrade. A hidden camera in my room located on top of the mirror across from the bed. It wasn't just any camera, it was a cop cam equipped with an SD card that records high-resolution, motion-activated video with sound. That's right, for the price of a budget motel room, you get a full production crew documenting your every move for some creep's archives. Matt took the camera to the front desk, called 911, and the responding officers gave him a local history lesson. They told him countless times, which he estimates 6 to 10 times, that this hotel is known for prostitution, pimping, drug dealers, and druggies. Apparently the staff give out room keys to these types all the time. It's not a hotel, it's a co-working space for the underworld. When Matt complained to corporate, they told him he should hear something back in 30 days. Because nothing says we care about your privacy like a 1-month waiting period to find out who has footage of you in your underwear. Matt ended up with nightmares because the camera recorded everything he did in that room. If you aren't being filmed, you're likely being used as a target for a felony-themed scavenger hunt. Gerald D was just chilling on a bench when a drive-by happened with a BB gun and was hit twice due to the unsafeness of this property. At this point, getting sniped with a BB gun is probably the most family-friendly thing happening on site. The hygiene here is a literal biohazard. Annie R found blood all over her mattress when she arrived, not her blood, which implies she was checking to make sure it wasn't hers yet. She noted that management is knowingly endangering the health and safety of all guests by continuing to rent rooms with blood all over the mattresses. To make things more breathtaking, she and her dog almost died because the staff let people park with exhaust 2 feet from the AC heat vent, and carbon monoxide almost killed her. But let's get to the most iconic review in Yelp history. Nicholas C entered a room that reeked of smoke and cheap cleaning products, featuring a refrigerator with a giant fist imprint in it. After being helped by a laundry guy using a primitive room tracking method, a piece of paper, he encountered the final boss of the hallway. A large man who kept the motel room door wide open whilst he exposed himself on the bed wearing nothing but boxers. And then the peak of the fever dream. Nicholas noticed a giant box of cats, yes, cats, outside one of the rooms. After he made a race to safety, the box vanished. His conclusion? Perhaps they were drug cats. The world will never know. The Studio 6 Phoenix. Come for the cop cam on the mirror, stay for the drug cats and the yellow pee stains on the sheets. 0 out of 10 stars. Hell exists, and it's the Studio 6 in Deer Valley. Found Hotel, Boston Common. Welcome to Boston, a city of history, culture, and a hotel that smells like a Civil War soldier's gym bag. We're looking at the Found Hotel, Boston Common, a place built in 1877 that apparently hasn't seen a vacuum since the McKinley administration. Logene H. noted, the carpet is probably as old as the hotel, which explains why the whole place smells musty like dirty socks. But we aren't here for the vintage fungus, we're here for the surveillance. Logene looked up and realized her sleep was being monitored by a very suspicious piece of tech. She pointed out that the smoke detector directly above her bed had 2 peepholes. She couldn't help but wonder if it was a hidden camera. There may be no proof, but Logene didn't need a signal log to confirm the verdict. The place gave her the creepiest vibes, mainly due to the creepy staff. If the Peephole Express doesn't get you, the floor plan will. Ishida V checked in and realized she paid $300 a night for an 8-foot by 10-foot room or prison cell with stained/unchanged linen. When she complained, the staff basically told her to deal with it. But it gets better. At 11:30 p.m., the general manager called their room like a literal movie villain and threatened them, shouting, "Come down to the lobby in 10 seconds or else," before banging the headset on us.
I'll be back.
A 10-second warning? What is this, an action movie or a hospitality business? The situation got so toxic, the police arrived in 5 minutes, and the family was eventually evicted at 2 a.m. with young kids. Absolute 5-star service if you're looking to traumatize your children. The rooms are so tiny that Allegra H found a mini sink in the room and a toilet bowl about 4 feet away from the head of the bed. It's the perfect setup for anyone who wants to brush their teeth while simultaneously being judged by a little pincered black beetle on their pillow. Allegra found 1 live and 1 long dead beetle all on or in the pillowcase. And by the time she hit the 6th beetle, she rightfully lost her mind. If you prefer mammals over insects, Jolene J incurred a flurry dashing across the small room at 1:30 a.m. It was a mouse. Just a little 3 a.m. rodent to keep you company in a room with minimal hot water. And let's talk about the found in the name, because they will definitely find your credit card info. Hunter B noticed that within 5 hours, there were mysterious charges from New York on a card he only used at this front desk. Another guest, AB, called it a total scam as they were hit with unauthorized charges 5 days after checking out. The staff's attitude is the cherry on top of this dumpster fire. Ken S. had to deal with a manager who wouldn't stop his obscene and vitriolic speech until the Boston PD came in of their own volition to handle the matter. Found Hotel. Come for the 2 peepholes in the smoke detector, stay for the beetle stuffed pillows, and the manager who gives you a 10-second warning before calling the SWAT team. 0 out of 10 stars. I've seen more professional behavior in a high school mosh pit. Congrats! You're officially a star on the dark web foot footage forum. Smash subscribe or I'm leaking your shower footage to your boss.